If you hear Mecha card RPG and your brain does a little fist pump, Battlesuit Aces is already halfway home. Trinket Studios takes their Battle Chef Brigade knack for hand-drawn charm and pours it into a 5v5 tactical battler stitched to a lightly branching visual novel. It's a vibe-first space opera with a surprisingly chewy combat loop, a crafting layer that matters, and one design call that will split the audience clean down the middle. There's no traditional deck building. You don't build 30 card monsters. You curate pilots, slots, and mods. That's either elegant or a buzzkill, depending on your card game religion. Here's the playfield. You're Captain Heathcliff, wrangling a cast of anime-bright pilots aboard the USS Zephyr while chasing relic suits and swatting cosmic nasties. Missions bounce between dialogue scenes and battles where each side fields up to 5 units. Every card is a pilot in a suit with abilities keyed to colored energy. Your turn is a pocket economy. Bank energy, spend it on attacks. Consider whether burning 3 on Felix for 8 damage now is smarter than holding for a bigger swing next turn. It's not MTG math, it's tempo math. Less about perfect curves, more about can I open a lane this turn without detonating a trap. Positioning is the spine. You get 1 movement point per turn, and moves can proc skills. Jagger's multi-shot hits center and flanks, so a single nudge changes your geometry of threat. Some enemies counter when an ally dies, so you sometimes park a disposable unit up front to sponge the tantrum and keep your flagship alive. It's classic tactics masquerading as a card game: lines, arcs, bait, and body blocks. The best turns feel like a tiny XCOM where the dice are replaced by your resource choices. Special abilities give the puzzle its teeth. On-move pings, on-kill buffs, status riders, retaliations on specific triggers. Chaining these is where wins are made. The game loves gotchas that push you into planning instead of spamming. Blast a minion at the wrong time and you wake up the slot behind it. Slide left and you pick up chip damage that tips a later lethal. Misread an icon and you eat a punish you didn't budget for. When you're locked in, it sings. When you're sloppy, it's your own fault. Mostly. Between missions, the mod crafting layer actually matters. You earn crystals and gels, cash in schematics for single-use mods, and bolt them onto specific cards. A retrofitted support system adds HP, scrap metal cannons, bump damage. Leg saws make a move step into a poke. It's not a loot treadmill, it's targeted tuning that nudges playstyle. Stack survivability on a linchpin, or build a mobile bruiser that chips on movement while your backline banks energy. It's satisfying because the delta is visible in the very next fight. Progression loops around faction reputation. Perform, level up your standing, pick rewards, new ace pilots, drones, or more mods. The choice forces identity. Do you deepen a combo line or widen your toolset? This is also where the no deck edit choice bites. You aren't trimming dead draws, you're expanding a roster and equipping pieces. Some reviewers applaud the accessibility, less menu fiddling, more play. Others want control, let me prune, let me brew. The truth is the system works because fights hinge on where and when, not just what. But if your joy is in 52 card tinkering, this isn't that game. Let's stack the outside reads. One camp praises the hand-drawn art, VN pacing, and earnest cast. They call out the voice work for carrying scenes, the mecha flavor for giving the tactics swagger, and the difficulty options, gentle, balanced, daring for making it welcoming without turning to mush. Another camp flags choppy narrative stitching between vignettes, missing VN conveniences like a text log or glossary, and UI clarity gaps. Icons that need more tooltips, passive effect text that's too terse, and weak action state marking on who's already acted. These aren't deal breakers. They're paper cuts the game can sand down with a patch. Battle pacing is intentionally readable. You can push face damage on the flagship or clear the screen piece by piece to open that lane. Units double as shields, so sacrificing a drone to save a pilot is good play, not waste. The 1 move per turn rule is a quiet masterstroke. It limits degenerate reposition spam and makes movement skills meaningful. It also means you live and die on foresight. Moving to set up a multi-shot next turn is often stronger than cashing it now for a smaller line. Small but welcome touches. Switch supports touchscreen in handheld and tabletop, which is ideal for the hunt and tap of parsing a board. Attacks resolve with a little 3D wobble to cards and a clean backdrop that keeps the battlefield legible. And there's variety beyond story missions. Optional puzzle fights that challenge you to solve a turn, and higher difficulty tracks if you want to sweat. Let's be candid about friction. Without a pure deck builder, your agency leans into lineup, lane, and mod decisions rather than draft and prune. If that's your jam, you'll find the strategy in the seams and love it. If you want to craft a 40-minute control package and goldfish it, you'll feel boxed in. UI needs a pass to surface passive chains and show action states at a glance. And while the story has heart, it leans on familiar anime archetypes. If you're allergic to quippy crews with secret trauma and running gags, bring antihistamines. Quick spoiler in 3, 2, 1. Later chapters lean harder on combo literacy, asking you to bait enemy procs and leverage move procs to set up multi-target turns. It's a clean difficulty ramp that rewards learning the roster instead of brute force. Spoilers over, back to safe space value call. At $24.99 on Switch, you're buying a polished tactics toy box with a VN wrapper and real mechanical payoffs from crafting and reputation. Gentle mode makes it a cozy couch game. Daring mode punishes sloppy sequencing and greedy face hits. If your must-have is I edit my deck or I walk, this will frustrate. If you want crisp positional tactics with card-like clarity, it's a sleeper. Here's the payoff insight. Battlesuit Aces quietly reframes Card Battler as positional engine builder. The best turns aren't about drawing the perfect answer. They're about sliding one square, spending just enough energy, and letting 3 little passives sing in harmony. That's why the no deck choice works here. It funnels your attention to the board, not the binder. And that's why the mod layer lands. Every +2 or on-move ping changes a lane equation you'll actually see. If this kind of no BS deep dive is your thing, hitch a ride with Veteran Game and hit subscribe. If you're nodding or cursing me for defending no deck editing, toss a like so the algorithm doesn't bury thoughtful indies under the next Battle Royale trailer. Final spice for the comments. Should a modern card tactics game prioritize board geometry over deck freedom? Would a light deck edit elevate Battlesuit Aces or break its clean lane-first puzzle box?